Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the family of a murdered Kentucky man discusses his killer's conviction, and a detective takes the stand to discuss what led to an apartment fire in one Kentucky city.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. It's Thursday. I'm Dakota Makris, and it's 6:31, and I'm hoping you all have your coffee with you this morning and you keep it with you, because as Brandon Robinson's been talking about all morning, the temperatures, well, they're just going to keep dropping, Brandon. So, I mean, there's some dangers for the road, you know, this morning, but road crews are working hard.
Exactly.
You know, like I told you at like 5 o'clock, I've seen some of them out working.
Right.
So I think everybody should be patient with them this morning as well.
Exactly. But the big thing, Dakota, they couldn't get started until after the rain ended. So they were put back a little bit there. We've had some folks talking about that earlier this week. But again, you have to wait until the snow actually starts to start treating the roads when you've got the rain coming down first. Let's take a look at the live pinpoint Doppler radar. The snow almost out of here, so that's some good news for drivers this morning. The bad news is the temperatures are still going down, and they'll continue to do that for a while, which means freezing conditions could develop. It's also very foggy out there this morning. Visibility is limited across the region. Anything less than 5 miles on this map, which is a lot of locations from Jackson down to Harlan, Williamsburg, and Monticello up to Pikeville. Just be extra careful as you head through the first part of the day. All right, we're going to continue to see, again, I-64 snow covered this morning. Now, here's the thing. A lot of folks, I just saw a message come up on my phone, and be like, is there more snow coming? Is there more snow? No, this was not the big part of this system. The ice was the big part of this system. So that's why we said some folks will not see any snow. Moorhead, of course, got some snow along I-64, and I-75 down toward Corbin got a little bit of snow. But for most of us here in the eastern counties, you're going to wake up and it's going to look like just like it did yesterday for the most part. But then, as you try to hit those roads this morning, it's going to be icy. So you really got to keep an eye on that as you head out the door. 23 in Moorhead right now, 32 in Harlan. And I think temperatures continue to fall all the way through about 9 o'clock. And look at this. We're 20 degrees colder in Moorhead than we were this time yesterday morning. 24 degrees colder in Louisville, 17 in Lexington. Only place it's warmer than it was this time yesterday, Harlan, is 1 degree warmer than it was this time yesterday. 26 is where we'll kind of bounce back and rebound to later today. Flurries possible through the day and into the night. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. We continue our winter weather coverage here in Hazard as rain transitioned into snow and freezing temps overnight. Let's check in live with our meteorologist, Cameron Aaron, this morning. Cameron, what's it looking out there again?
Dakota, two things. One, I told you earlier I was working with the snowmen out here. This is the best I could do so far. We're going to work on it during the commercial breaks, but here we go. So far, I'm working on the snowmen. And number two, I had to throw on the second layer because it's getting chilly out here pretty quickly as that cold Arctic air begins coming into the mountains. Now behind me you see here, this is the Howard Rogers Parkway, and right now we are looking at a pretty wet roadway, and that is causing concern because of those cold temperatures coming through here later on today, and some slick spots are definitely going to be possible as we go through the rest of your morning commute. And don't let your guard down, because even into the afternoon we stay below freezing, so slick spots are possible all the way through tonight and maybe into your Friday, as well as we stay below freezing for the rest of your work week, really. So a nice scene out here. We do have a little bit of a dusting here in the grassy areas, but just don't let your guard down and be sure to take it slow and use plenty of caution as you get out the road this morning, because some slick spots are definitely possible. Dakota?
Cameron, I have a quick question for you. Your little snowman, what do you think we should name it?
What's up? See, I was going to let you do that. And then another thing, Dakota, I was going to say, I know the last snow event you got to do a little bit of sledding.
I did.
And I missed that on the fun. So if you got any more sledding ideas, let me know, because I'm coming back to the station here in a minute.
I think we should probably just name the snowman Steve, maybe.
You can never go wrong with that.
No, all right, Cameron, thank you. Well, as we first told you Tuesday night, Patrick Baker was sentenced to 42 years in a federal prison for the murder of Donald Mills in Knox County. This was after Baker was pardoned in 2019 by then Governor Matt Bevin. But the case was brought to a federal jury where they convicted him of murder last August. Donald's sister Melinda says right now it is hard to forgive Baker.
The jury is just not nitpicking on Patrick Baker out of the state of Kentucky. Nobody's framing him for murder. You know, that's just the facts of it, because it's been proven, and he's been not convicted once but twice.
Baker's attorneys tell us they plan to appeal the jury's verdict. Well, a detective took the stand Wednesday morning testifying about what led up to an hours-long standoff and a man setting a Richmond apartment building on fire. Logan Browning is accused of assaulting his ex-girlfriend, barricading himself in her home, then setting it on fire. He's also accused of firing shots from her building, putting dozens of people in danger. Yesterday, he faced a judge. The fire destroyed the building, leaving several families without a home. Members of the community are hosting a fundraiser for them this Sunday at Champions Sports Bar and Grill.
I think someone had said there were 17 children in total involved. And, that's a big thing for me. Or when children are affected by, a thing that has a negative impact on their life, I try to balance that out and bring a positivity to it. Me and many other musicians too as well.
Browning is facing a slew of charges, including arson, robbery, burglary, and wanton endangerment involving a police officer. The names of 2 people who were found dead after a fire in Rowland County have been released. The fire happened Tuesday morning at a home just off of Pretty Ridge Road. The Rowland County coroner says the victims are 18-year-old Charlie Mead and 17-year-old Deegan Bean from Carter County. The coroner says Mead lived on the property where the fire happened and Bean was visiting, adding they died from smoke inhalation. It's still not known what started the fire. With the recent emphasis on animal advocacy in Floyd County, rescue cats and dogs have been the talk of the town, and the Floyd County Sheriff's Office has joined in on the canine celebration. Our Buddy Forbes has more from Sheriff John Hunt, who is highlighting the pups that are not rescues, but rescuers.
A good dog can make for a good day.
Man's best friend, and obviously he's our best protector.
And at the Floyd County Sheriff's Department, that protection comes in a double dose.
This is one of those cases where it's a resource that can't be replaced by human skills.
The department is working to highlight the furriest fixtures on the force. Canine officers Lita and Drago.
A lot of people think when you deploy a canine, it's for the drug detection or for bite purpose or something, apprehending a violent person. But
saying the drug detection the dogs offer the county is only a portion of what they fetch, as witnessed in a recent hit-and-run call.
But now the most important thing is the service it gives to the public. This accident was caused by this driver. This driver should not have been on the road, suspended license, previous DUIs.
When Drago, who is now a national award-winning canine, got to the scene, it was not long before the pup collared his perp.
Amazing that it did locate this person, because this person had submerged himself in a ditch, in a drain.
Finding the man, 33-year-old John Lowe, who deputies say was responsible for the crash that left several people injured.
And now he's responsible for that accident and was caught strictly just because of the use of deploying a canine.
Sheriff John Hunt says that incident was only one of many that proved the possibilities the police pups bring.
What the human nose couldn't find, the human eye couldn't see, a dog is what leads us in that direction.
To keep crime on a tight leash. In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Hunt says the extra training classes and handling that the canines require is well worth it because they are an invaluable part of the force. Kentucky ranks 3rd in grocery spending here in the U.S. Supply issues have caused a spike in grocery expenses, and owners say they have had to increase prices in the store to match it. But they say it has not caused a decrease in shoppers coming to the store, only a difference in the items they are buying.
I don't think it's caused a decrease. I think everybody knows it is what it is. But at the same time, you just make alternatives. And I think the supermarket is probably, because not just supermarkets, it's across the board.
Restaurants, clothing stores, and others are also seeing supply issues caused prices to increase. Well, the bluegrass is known as the bourbon capital of the world. It's a billion-dollar industry employing thousands of people across Kentucky. But the bourbon industry in Kentucky was hit hard in 2020, especially tourism. However, the Kentucky Distillers Association says almost every economic measure was up in 2021. Chad Hedrick has the latest findings from a new study that outlines the growth and plans to continue that momentum.
It runs through the veins of the Commonwealth.
So as we all know, bourbon's heart and its soul lives right here in Kentucky. It lives in our history and in our heritage.
And a statewide study by the Kentucky Distillers Association shows the bourbon industry is riding a 20-year wave of growth.
Numbers, frankly, are out standing.
In 2009, a first report identified 19 distilling establishments in 8 Kentucky counties, supporting 3,000 jobs. This newest report shows 95 establishments in 40 counties, employing 6,000 people. It's estimated the industry's economic impact equals more than 22,000 jobs and nearly $9 billion of economic output.
It's been a long haul. I mean, I've been at this for 55 years when bourbon wasn't so cool. It didn't really look like there would be much of a way that we could help the Commonwealth. And then it all broke about 25 years ago.
There have been setbacks. The study finds heavy retaliatory tariffs imposed on whiskey by the European Union and China cut Kentucky whiskey exports by $170 million. Those tariffs have since been lifted. In Kentucky, the KDA credits tax incentives in bills addressing the Commonwealth's antiquated alcohol laws as key to that growth.
It was so good, it's worked too well. It's actually spurred production and everything so much we're paying more taxes now than ever before and not able to get all the incentive.
KDA says it's a good problem to have, but plan to work with lawmakers to address it to keep pouring momentum. In Frankfort, Chad Hedrick, WKYT.
House Speaker David Osborne says in the last 10 years, the General Assembly has passed 17 bills loosening Kentucky alcohol laws. He says lawmakers are committed to passing comprehensive tax reforms this session to advance growth and business.
.642, your time this morning in the forecast, starting to wrap up with the snow, but the cold is still on the way. We still have more of that, and we're going to continue to see that throughout the daytime hours, and it's not going to move out a whole lot today and for the next couple of days. But the snow is on the way out for now. Live pinpoint Doppler radar, 23 Moorhead, 24 Irvin, 22 in Lexington. Everybody below 30 with the exception of Hazard and Harlan, which are both at freezing right now. Middlesboro just above, and so is Jacksboro at 33 and 34 respectively. We take a look at our weather app forecast. Great tool to have. You'll get that QR code here in just a minute. And this one is legit. Not like the story we ran earlier that some of those scammers out there. This one's an actual legit QR code. But you'll see we're going to deal with some of those snow showers for a little while longer before they move out. And then cloudy skies and cooler temperatures take over as we take a look at that forecast for the rest of the day and the night. Time is 6:43. Good morning. You're watching Mountain News this morning right here on WIMT.